On the day before my wedding, I discovered my $8,700 dress had been sabotaged by my sister-in-law, Beth. As the truth unfolded amid the ceremony's joy, an unexpected confrontation and a secret recording revealed Beth's shocking motive, leaving the outcome of my wedding day hanging in the balance. I stood in front of the mirror, anxiety churning in my stomach. My wedding dress, the one I had dreamt about for years, had looked perfect in the bridal shop. Now, hanging on my bedroom door, encapsulated in a fine white crepe, it felt surreal. "Grace, how's your dress looking?" Jack called from downstairs. "Almost dressed," I shouted back, my hands trembling as I smoothed the fabric. Beth, my soon-to-be sister-in-law, had offered to alter my dress for free weeks ago. Her reputation as a skilled seamstress preceded her, yet something about her offer felt off. "But with our wedding budget maxed out, I accepted. I still can't believe Beth is doing this for you," Mom had said, with skepticism in her voice. "Yeah, it's very generous," I had replied, masking my doubts. I slipped into the dress and began to zip it up, but something felt wrong. The bodice was misshapen, seams gaping. The delicate lace was crudely cut, threads hanging loose. My excitement turned to horror. "Oh my God," I whispered to myself, tears welling up. "Grace, what's wrong?" Jack asked from downstairs, concern in his voice. "The dress is ruined," I choked out, trying to hold back sobs. "What do you mean? Let me see." "I want to check it myself," he said, starting up the stairs. "No, Jack, you can't. It's bad luck to see the dress before the wedding. Are you sure? Maybe it's not as bad as it looks," he insisted, stopping at the door. "It is. It's destroyed. How could she let this happen?" I said, my voice breaking. "Are you sure it wasn't a mistake?" "No," I said to myself as much as to Jack, my voice barely a whisper. "This isn't just an accident. She butchered it." Jack's voice softened. "Well, figure it out, okay? We have to." I called Beth, hands trembling. "Beth, what happened to my dress? What do you mean?" she asked, feigning innocence. "It's destroyed. How could you let this happen? Grace, calm down. I'm sure it's not that bad." "Maybe you're overreacting." "I'm not overreacting. It's unwearable. Look, I'll come over and fix it." "No, Beth. You've done enough." I hung up, fury and despair warring within me. How could she do this? I thought of our strained conversations, her snide remarks. It all made sense now. "I need to call my mom," I said, my voice shaking. Jack's voice was firm through the door. "We'll get through this, Grace. We won't let her ruin our day." My parents arrived soon after, shocked and saddened by the state of the dress. "We'll find a way," my mom said, although her eyes reflected my own doubts. The next few hours felt endless, filled with a whirlwind of emotions and desperate attempts to find a solution. The following day was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. Instead, it felt like a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. As dawn broke the next day, I resolved to expose Beth's deceit. She wouldn't get away with this. Not on my wedding day. I decided to take matters into my own hands. I couldn't let this ruin my wedding day. With no other choice, I rushed to the nearest bridal shop and bought a new dress. It wasn't my dream dress, but it would have to do. The wedding preparations went into overdrive. The air buzzed with excitement and the scent of fresh flowers. I slipped into my new dress, feeling both nervous and determined. The memory of the destroyed dress still stung, but today was my day. The guests arrived, their curious glances lingering on my gown. I spotted Beth among them, her eyes widening in shock. She quickly masked her reaction, but I saw the flicker of anger. As the ceremony proceeded, we gathered for the official photos. My family lined up for the all-family photograph, everyone smiling for the camera. Beth stood beside me, her smile rigid. The photographer positioned us, urging us to hold our smiles. "Grace, why didn't you wear the dress I altered for you?" Beth muttered through clenched teeth, her smile never wavering. "Do you not appreciate all the hard work I put into it?" I kept my smile fixed, my voice low. "Beth, the dress was unwearable. It was completely ruined." "Ruined?" Beth hissed, her eyes glinting with malice. "I spent hours on that dress. You obviously don't value my effort." "Beth," I said calmly, though my insides churned, "since you thought the altered dress was so well done, why don't you wear it to your own wedding? Consider it my gift to you." Beth's face turned a deep shade of red, but she held her smile for the camera. The photographer finally snapped the picture, everyone relaxed, and Beth stormed off to find space among the crowd of onlookers with Adam, her fiancé. I turned to the wedding videographer, who had been capturing candid moments. "Could you film over there?" I asked, pointing to Beth and Adam. "I want to remember everything about today, even the behind-the-scenes moments." The videographer nodded and moved closer to them, his camera discreetly in hand. A little while later, he approached Jack and me inconspicuously. "I think you'll want to see this," he said, showing us the footage on his camera. The video audio revealed Adam asking Beth, "Why are you so upset? Getting an $8,000 wedding dress for free is great news." Beth's response was a low, bitter hiss. "No, I tried my best to make it ugly, and now it's mine," she gave it to me. "What am I supposed to do with a ruined wedding dress?" My heart raced as I processed the confession. I turned to Jack, feeling both vindicated and saddened. He squeezed my hand, his eyes filled with support. "We need to show this to everyone," Jack said. We moved to the vestry to sign the marriage register, the minister guiding us through the formalities. The room was small, intimate, filled with family and close friends. The air felt thick with tension and anticipation. The videographer positioned himself carefully, ready to capture everything. As the minister handed me the pen, I took a deep breath. "Before we continue, Terry's something everyone needs to see," I announced, my voice steady, and with a nod at the videographer. The videographer played the recording. Adam's voice filled the room, asking Beth why she was upset about getting an expensive dress for free. Her response, full of frustration, was clear. "What am I supposed to do with a ruined wedding dress?" Gasps filled the vestry. My family stared at Beth in shock, their disbelief turning to anger. Adam stepped away from Beth, his face a mask of confusion and humiliation. "Beth, how could you?" my mom whispered, her voice trembling. "My milk came to my wedding in a white dress and announced her engagement. I outplayed her at her own wedding." 3 stories of women who intentionally wore white dresses at weddings and were smartly put in their places. Caught this woman wearing my dress and destroying it, but karma hit her the very next moment. Beth's eyes darted around, but she found no support. I wanted a dress as nice as that for myself, but Terry's no way in hell my family could afford it," she muttered, her bravado crumbling. "I'm so sorry, Grace," my dad said, his voice heavy with regret. "We should have believed you." "It's okay, Dad," I replied, feeling a wave of relief. The minister cleared his throat, bringing us back to the moment. "Shall we proceed?" he asked gently. With a renewed sense of solidarity, we signed the register. The burden of Beth's betrayal was lifted, replaced by the warmth of family and friends who stood by us. Beth stood alone, her reputation in tatters. As we left the vestry to continue the celebration, I glanced back at her, feeling a sense of closure. Despite the drama, Jack and I enjoyed our wedding day, surrounded by love and support. The ordeal had made us stronger, more resilient. What would you have done? If you enjoyed this story, here's another one for you. After a chance encounter and years of dating, Ryan and Hannah are about to walk down the aisle and commit to each other. But when Ryan's mother reveals an incriminating video of Ryan with another woman, Hannah feels her heart break. But later, the truth of the video is revealed, along with more deceit than Hannah ever expected. This work is inspired by real events and people, but it has been fictionalized for creative purposes. Names, characters, and details have been changed to protect privacy and enhance the narrative. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental and not intended by the author. The author and publisher make no claims to the accuracy of events or the portrayal of characters and are not liable for any misinterpretation. This story is provided as is, and any opinions expressed are those of the characters and do not reflect the views of the author or publisher.